Frank Carrozza, congratulations on coming into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much, Coach.
It's a great honor, you know, the Hall of Fame, and it's been going on now for about 35 years, I guess. We've been inducting guys, and it's great to have someone from Long Island going in.
Yeah,
and
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
Frank, how'd you get involved in wrestling?
Well, I started wrestling in 7th grade at Island Trees Junior High. Coach Ted Peterson actually came and talked to me about coming out for wrestling, and so I joined the mats with him, and that was his first year, my first year, but I weighed 75 pounds. So we got our uniforms, and for the first match, you know, Coach Peterson got the white, I'll fix it, got the white tape out, taped the back of my uniform, and that became his forte. He could fix everything with white tape. So basically that was how I got involved with wrestling. 2 years later, he moved up to the varsity, and I moved up with him.
What do you think is the most significant thing that you achieved in wrestling? It's not just as a wrestler. What have you added to wrestling?
Well, I'm going to give you some personal maybe goals and things that stand out in my mind when you asked that question. Island Trees was fledgling wrestling at the time, and one of the goals was to get as tough as some of those South Shore teams. So I won the North Shore Championship in 1965 for Island Trees. And then another thing that stands out is placing third at the NCAA College Division Nationals, and I was at Westchester State. But a thing that I think as far as achievements deals with would be my first Orange County League Championship and undefeated team at Menacing Valley, where I spent a lot of years as a coach and also athletic director.
Never understood how Island Trees was North Shore. That's always
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. But Ted's philosophy was to wrestle the best to get better, and so we'd wrestle those South Shore schools.
Tell us about some of the people that you think have influenced you in wrestling or in life in general.
Well, first of all, it'd have to be Ted Peterson. My whole high school career was with Ted, and he, like I said, his thing was to say, well, if you want to get better, you have to wrestle the best, and he would schedule matches with some of those powerhouse South Shore teams, and when we learned a lot along the way. You learn by two ways: repetition and sometimes shock. But because some of those teams were really good. Then, after having Ted Peterson, I went to Orange County Community College, and I had a coach named Don Weber there, and he refined my technique a little bit, and also gave me the opportunity to enhance my leadership and maybe my coaching techniques along the way. And then last, I had a wrestler named John DeMarco at Westchester State, and he was my workout partner and my drill partner. And John would drag me in the off-season, all these tournaments. We'd get in the car, we'd, we're going to Pennsylvania. We're going up down to Jersey. We're going to New York. And he's still very active in Jersey wrestling. In fact, he got into the Hall of Fame a few years back.
A question. If you had an opportunity to change something in wrestling, to make it better, what might you do?
Well, first of all, one thing is we have to stop changing the rules so often. We've changed, for example, the criteria, overtime criteria, we've changed that so many times during several years that even knowledgeable fans get a little confused. Yeah. And so that's one thing. Another thing is if you get more people involved for wrestling. You go see a Penn State wrestling match, and they have mat maids, they have spirit squads, and they're just so involved. They get the fans involved, and you can't help but getting brought up into the enthusiasm. Right. And I think that's what we need for coaches today to sell the sport.
We agree with you.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on your induction into the National Wrestling.
Thank you, Coach. I'm really looking forward to that night.